Hey, what's up everybody? My name is John. In today's video, we are going to be making 3 swarm traps out of 1 sheet of plywood. I will have the plans available to download for free in the description box below, so make sure you check that out. And so I'm not going to go through all of the exact measurements here, but I will have them in the description below and on the PDF plans that you can download for free on our website. So make sure you check that out. So it is swarm season now, it's spring, it's warm. Our one beehive that survived the winter is out and about, and they are doing well, it looks like. So you can see that's one of our old swarm traps right up there. And so we are going to be making a modified version of that for our new swarm traps. So here we go. So all the plans are just sort of on paper, and I've set this up to be as efficient as possible. I'm going to build one first to make sure that my plans are sound, but they should be okay. And you'll see if you take a look at the plans, I have a 4x8 sheet of plywood and I have it broken down by all the pieces. So let's go through the tools that you'll need to do this. All right, so these are the main tools that you'll need to build this. So we have some construction screws. This is just a little spade bit for the driver to cut a hole. We have our tape measure, we have wood glue, we have our circular saw, we also have our table saw, which is not essential, but I like to use it. And then I have a drywall square, which is just helpful for making straight lines. So you see my first line here, you know, you can use any kind of T-square here, but I like these drywall squares because especially on the factory edges, you can just get, you know, a real nice straight line all the way down, which is real important when you're making your first cut because everything is based off of that. All right, so the first cut we're gonna make is gonna go all the way across the board, and that is going to make up our fronts and backs. So you can see I'm using the table saw to cut the pieces to size. It's a lot easier to do that. Once you have that first cut out of the way, you're gonna make another long cut along the long side of the factory edge, and we're gonna use this to cut out our bottoms. If you have a long enough miter saw, you can use that for this, but I just used my circular saw. With the remaining pieces here, we're going to cut out the sides. And once again, just a reminder, we have the plans for free downloadable on our website, and I'll put the link in the description. That's why I'm not going through any of the measurements here. Now we're going to cut out another long piece here, and we're going to use this to make the tops. So you can see the tops are going to be bigger than all the other pieces just so they hang over a little bit to create a little bit of a moisture barrier on top. And with the final pieces here, we're going to cut down to size the frame hangers. These are going to be the little pieces that sit inside that your wax frames are going to sit on top of, so they're not just sitting on the bottom. I cut some strips to width, and then I use the table saw to cut them to size. I'll also use the final pieces to create the frame hangers, and these are just the pieces that get connected to the back that you use to hang the trap on the tree or wherever you're going to put them. And again, like all this stuff, I give you all the measurements, but it doesn't need to be super exact. You know, these aren't built for prettiness, they're built for function. And once you're set, and you're going to want to make sure, I didn't show it here, but you're going to put a strip of wood glue along each edge to just make sure it stays secure. But so you're going to put the sides on the outside of the front and back, and then you're just going to glue and screw them together. Once you have the main box set out, you're going to screw the bottom board to the box. And that'll give your piece some more rigidity and make it easier to put the whole thing together. Now here I am just measuring where we're going to put the frame hangers. They're either half an inch or so, maybe 3/8 down from the top. You just need it far enough down so that when the frames sit in there, it doesn't impede the top from sitting snugly against the top of the box. You know, you just don't want the frames sticking out above the top of the box. After you're all set with that, you can measure and mark where you're going to put your entrance. You can either put it on the front, I mean you can put it wherever you want, front or sides. Sometimes it's better to have it on the side depending on where your trap is going to hang, so that when you go to pick it up, you are not staring the entrance dead in your face. You don't want, you know, bees in the face. So you use the same 1-inch spade bit for cutting the entrance hole that you used to just cut the hole for the hanger. And then I just put 6 screws in the back there to make sure it was nice and strong. You only need 2 screws on the top. It's nice when you put, when you're able to just take 1 screw out and swivel the top open to just check. And as you can see, it was super easy to put this together. Once you cut out everything to size, you can just kind of make it work real quick. So here I am just finishing the other 2 traps. All right, so we are pretty much done with our swarm trap here. We got all the frames in here. The last thing that we're gonna do, which we are not gonna do right now, is spray it with Swarm Commander, which is like this little spray bottle.
Secret sauce. Special sauce.
This stuff right here, this is the secret sauce. We put this in our swarm traps last year. We tried lemongrass oil with no effect. We put this in and literally like 2 days later we had a swarm.
Bang.
So this is the first one. I have 2 more to put together, but that's gonna do it for this one. All right, so the plan was to set up some swarm traps here on our new property, but we don't have the right kind of screws, so you need 8-inch screws to screw it into a tree so it has enough leverage to hold up the trap. So we'll just do it next time. Right now we have them strategically positioned on top of our horse trailer and on the outside porch of our house, so should still work. But real quick, wanted to give you a quick little tour of our flower farm to be.
So we had some of the trees that were close to the house, the big house, cleaned up. Look at all this. Ooh, look at all that brush. Still got these big problemo trees up though.
So unfortunately not much is happening with the house, so we don't have anything new to show you there. But I'm starving. Let's go home and Catherine's gonna make me some dinner.
For tonight's dinner, we are going to have an Asian style pasta salad, and we're also gonna have an Asian meatball. So to make the pasta salad, we are going to first get a nice big pot of water to a rolling boil, and we're going to stick the pasta in it once that's already happened. It's also important that you really salt your pasta water because that's your only chance you have to get some nice salty flavor into your pasta. Everything else will just be on top of it. So while that pasta cooks away, we'll get started on the veggies that's going to go into the pasta salad. Here we have a red onion, carrots, bell pepper, and snow peas. You can add whatever veggies you like into this pasta salad. It's sort of an easy thing to modify to fit everybody's taste. You just want to get all the veggies diced up into, smaller bite-sized pieces so that you don't have to compete too hard to eat them. Pepper is the best chef's assistant there's ever been. But no onions for dogs, they're toxic, so keep it moving, Pepper. So everybody slices bell peppers a little bit differently. This is how I do it. I'm not really concerned with those white ribs. And the easiest way, once they're removed from the pepper, is to put skin side down and slice into the softer meaty bits so your knife isn't sliding around on the pepper skin. Just get those nice and sliced. And this is another little hack I like to use. Once you have a carrot peeled, if you want really thin slices of carrot, you can use the peeler to do that. So if you wanted to use some kind of box shredder, you could also do this and put in shredded carrots, but I like these slices and then dices of carrot. I think it makes a nice size carrot bit without being too crunchy in your salad. It'll still have some nice crunch. Carrots. Snow peas are one of my favorite vegetables. We don't eat them a ton, but I love eating them raw. So I do a little bit of a bigger chop on these because I really want to get the texture of the snow pea in with the salad. Next up, we're gonna make the sauce. This is super simple if you just have a few of these ingredients on hand. All that's in it is sriracha, sesame oil, rice wine vinegar, and a little bit of honey. And this is the honey from the Beehive Homestead, so thank you very much again to them for sending it to us. I don't have exact measurements for anything on this sauce. I just put, some of it in and then give it a taste and modify it to taste if you want it to be a little bit sweeter, more honey, a little bit spicier, more sriracha. And you can tell by how empty our sriracha bottle is that John likes things to be a little bit spicier. So give that a nice mix and set it aside. Once your pasta's done cooking, you can add that to the veggies while it's still smoking hot. That'll give a tiny, tiny cook to the veggies, and while the pasta is cooling, it'll also absorb some of this sauce, which will make it extra delicious. Last thing you've got to do is give it a nice toss, and you're going to be eating. This is a great thing to bring to summer barbecues. It can be eaten hot or cold. It's delicious both ways, and it's a nice twist on a more traditional pasta salad.
If you want to see the video where we caught our first swarm, check it out right here. We put out videos on Mondays and Fridays. We go live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you stop by next time. Thanks for watching.